Yeah, that's what it sounds like when I need a woodpecker sound effect and my jeans are just a little too tight. And it's time for another unbuckled bumpy ride with your guide, the stark raving LEAN-atic himself. I'm Jim. Let's jump right in again. Welcome to my podcast based on my brand new book, available on Amazon, Live Life Lean, L-E.A.N. It's a year-long guide to gratitude and our daily grind. The book that combines some timeless wisdom from a whole lot of the world's wiser people with the reflections, reactions, and wisecracks of the guide's author, me. And it guides you, the reader, through the simplest system for a happy, healthy, authentic, and genuinely grateful everyday experience. I urge you to get the book. Of course I do. I wrote it. It's either at Amazon or at my website, ampurage.com. A-M-M-P-U-R-A-G-E. But even without it, let's make next week better than last, our next year better than the past, and get started now with today's episode of... It never ceases to amaze me. By the way, I love that phrase, cease to amaze. It never ceases to amaze me how people who seem to get on each other's nerves so much can't see either how much they are alike, or how alike they are, or how interdependent they are exactly by what seems to be unnerving them. Anyways, there's an old joke about how God has a great sense of humor, and it's demonstrated in the things that he combines and brings together. Now, I don't mean like combining, a beaver and a duck into a platypus, which, by the way, was only made funnier by its name. Don't tell me like nobody looks at this thing and says, hey, it's like a beaver and a duck, so let's like call it a buck or a deaver. No. They had to make sure that we smiled whenever we said the word platypus. Anyways, but our fun-loving God is most evident, or is frequently evident, more in the people who are brought together. It's kind of like, hey, angels, want a good chuckle? Let's put him with her, or whatever, and sit back and watch the sparks. All right, that's about as close as I get to actually playing God. I think Morgan Freeman did a much better job. Anyways, now me, on the other hand, though these mystical mashups of people can seem like painfully ironic and sometimes humorous, I see these personality combinations, these people-to-people combos, more like our spiritual sandpaper. Now roll with me here. What does sandpaper do? It rubs off the rough edges. It refines us. Now, a small, quick exposure to it, not much changes. Too much sandpaper for too long tears us up, makes us bleed, and broken. But the right exposure to this heavenly sandpaper refines us. It improves our rough and raw nature into one that's obviously been crafted with the purpose of a master who saw our potential all along. And it fulfills the purpose of the sandpaper. I wish I'd never told my wife this perspective, because it kind of gives her an excuse to keep trying to improve me. And sometimes I just want to stay stupid as a stick. Now, just like woodworking, and by the way, this is one of those I love irony analogies, kind of remembering that Jesus was a carpenter's son, a carpenter himself. So he must have just totally valued the ability to refine rough edges and make value out of something that God put here in one form, hello, tree, duh, and then transform it into a newer purpose, and to do so on purpose, not by accident, by refining away its rough, original stuff and using other rough stuff to do it. Anyways, in woodworking, there's like an appropriate sandpaper for an appropriate outcome, an appropriate grain for an appropriate gain. Ooh, I like that. Just going through this world, being deliberately abrasive and using the excuse that you're claiming that you're doing the work of God, or Jesus in this case, all right? Hey, that only works when either the carpenter, the master woodworker, the one who knows the best outcome, the outcome for that specific chunk of wood was made for. And by the way, if you didn't create the tree that it came from, then how can you claim to know its ultimate best potential? Sometimes we may think that our plans for someone are good. But are you saying that they're as good as God's? Ooh, shiver moment. Okay, and for those of you like me who are sometimes we feel stuck and stupid and stuck in our ways of just staying like a stick, okay? Now be careful which spiritual sandpaper you allow to rub you. Rub you the wrong way, or even what can feel like the right way, but it's for the wrong reason, or for too long of a season. Even the strongest wood can get worn down with too much rubbing. And we'll leave that one alone. All right, we are not, ladies, we are not just logs and sticks, but we are like trees. We have roots that most folks won't even take the time to see, with layers and rings from all that we've experienced and all that we've seen, and with branches and limbs and leaves that have a purpose. The purpose is to take what we're exposed to and give back to the world a life-bringing breath, like oxygen, of fresh air that the world needs. But don't just stay a tree, because when the time and the opportunity arrives to become more than our original, how we were put here form, don't fear the sandpaper. Right, Woody? Nah, I'm not doing that again. And now, words to wow your socks off from the Lean Guide itself. Entry number 3. So in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. Jesus Christ. And the Guide's point of view? The average person looks at their own reflection, statistics say, up to 19 times each day. Work instead to see the reality of others, as much as, or more, than we gaze at ourselves. So what do you think about that? Remembering the Lean Guide's layout, what have you learned recently related to that? Or what do you hope to learn? What's your intention to earn, to make the tough stuff happen? Something that's not just easily handed out. Where, who do you want to add to beyond just the immediate of now? And then stop. Remember the value of all of this. Take the time to navigate somewhere next. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying your copy of the Live Life Lean, L-E-A-N guide. Enjoying it almost as much as I did creating it. And if you don't have a copy yet, go on over to amperage.com or Amazon and get started today experiencing the amazing power of knowing every day is literally yours to be grateful about. And you need never feel unfulfilled again. I'm Jim Hall. And until next time, good health, God bless. And now, go get a little dirty learning something new. Earning what's not given to you. Adding to this crazy world that we share. And navigating your way to something new and next.